Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now the one which is given here, Sadashiva Samarambham, goes like that. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. So the meanings are given. Generally, I just go through quickly. Sadashiva Samarambha. So why are we learning these prayers? So that when we learn Vedanta, the grace of the Gurus and all the great masters is what we are invoking. So the Guru Parampara starts from the Lord himself. So Sadashiva Samarambha, beginning from the Supreme Lord. Shankaracharya Madhyama, we follow the path of Advaita Vedanta. And Shankaracharya is one of the greatest exponents of Advaita Vedanta. The knowledge which tells us about the oneness of the individual, the world and the Supreme. That essential oneness of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara is called Advaita. Like how the wave is essentially water. It is one with all the waves and one with the ocean. In the same way, our true nature is that which is pure consciousness. So the exponent of that, one of the greatest exponents of that philosophy is Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya Madhyama, Asmadacharya Paryantam, to all the teachers who are teaching me. Vande Guru Parampara. So I salute the whole Guru Parampara. And specifically about Shankaracharya ji, Shruti Smriti Purananam Alaya. He is an abode of knowledge of the Vedas, Shruti, Smritis, the same Vedic knowledge written in the form of code of conduct which we can live in our daily life. It changes time to time. The knowledge of the Veda doesn't change. Those are eternal principles. How to live them in the day-to-day life as times change. One of the beauties of Hindu culture is that it is very adaptive. So it customizes that knowledge as per the time. So Shruti, Smriti. Like Bhagavad Gita is a Smriti. So Shruti, Smriti, Puranana. There are 18 Puranas. Puranas are the stories about various deities. And some are, like we say, Mahabharata and Ramayana, they are called Itihasa Puranas. So some are even historical. So Shruti, Smriti, Purananam, Alayam, who is an abode of knowledge of all these. Karunalayam, very, very compassionate. So it is said, 4 times Shankaracharya went around the whole country, trying to share this knowledge of Advaita Vedanta. And it is because of his efforts that Advaita Vedanta and Hindu culture was revived. Because Buddhism had taken over a large part of this country. And that Buddhism also had become decadent. Hinduism went down, so Buddhism also went down. So the intellectual philosophy was not strong enough for people to hold on to and live a higher way of. So he went around the country conducting debates, discussions, reviving the institutions, establishing temples, establishing mathas, many things he did. So out of compassion. Alayam Karunalayam. Namami Bhagavat Padam, to that divine lotus feet of Shankaracharya, we bow down. Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Then is about Gurudev. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam, one who is engaged in service of all the people constantly. Karunamayam, who is compassionate. Namami Chinmayam Devam, salutations to him, Swami Chinmayaji. Sadguru, who is a teacher of the truth, Sadguru, Brahma Viparam, the best amongst the lovers of Brahma. So this we will chant every day, every class. And then there is a composition called Guru Stotra. Take up that Guru Stotra. Some of you may know it. So Guru Stotra is found in the Guru Gita. Guru Gita is a conversation between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, where the glory of the Guru is being explained by Shiva. So it is a very long composition, and 14 verses of those are what are taken up here. The selected 14 verses are here. So you will find this is what we have been following in Chinmaya Mission. Guru Stotram, these 14 verses. We will learn each class a few. Akhanda Mandala Akaram Aptam Yena Characharam Padam Darshitam Yena Asmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Gurudeva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So it said, Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam. That supreme truth which pervades the whole universe of inert things and sentient things. One who made me realize that state of oneness. Tat Padam Darshitam Yena. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That Guru is my salutation. Second verse is Ajnana Timirandhasya. One who was blinded by ignorance, to such a person, the Guru has awakened the eye of knowledge, the vision of knowledge, through Jnana Anjana, through the anointment of knowledge. One who has awakened the vision in me. Ajnana Timirandhasya, Jnana Anjana Chakshuru Unmilitam, who opened my eyes, who made me have the higher vision. To that master is my salutation. The third one is very simple, all of us know. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. Guru is the creator. Guru is the sustainer. And Guru is the destroyer also. So even the thirst for Brahma Vidya is created by the Guru. or the demand for the self-knowledge also is created by the Guru. It is sustained by the Guru's grace, by the knowledge that the Guru gives. And the destruction of ignorance and false notions also happens because of the grace of the Guru. So Guru is Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. And Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. This is a vow that a student has, that the teacher is nothing but the Lord in this form who is manifest. That's my issue. Salutation to that. More we will take up in our next classes. So today we do the second chapter. So let's begin with a fundamental question. So the chapter has 4 parts. The first part is inevitability of action. So why do we work? From morning to evening we work. Why do we work? Simple. First answer is for survival, for existence. For pleasure. To be happy. Yes, for duties. Any other reason? To help and serve. Mission. If I have a mission, then I want to fulfill that.
For a sense of accomplishment.
Sense of accomplishment. Yeah. Right. So these are various motives to work. Now when we work, there is a famous triangle in management called Ask Triangle. What do you think is most important? If you have to choose one aspect.
Attitude.
So how many say knowledge? Good. How many say attitude? So why attitude?
Attitude, knowledge will come.
Without which the two are not being used.
Without attitude, the first two are no use.
I think all three are.
No, they are linked, but if one has to be emphasized, which one will it be?
Attitude. If attitude is correct, then you will be able to, then you will be receptive to knowledge.
Right.
Maybe figure the skill.
No doubt, skill and knowledge are very important, but attitude comes above that. Because with the wrong attitude, the knowledge can be used for harmful purpose. Swami Tejamanand, he says, we have guided missiles, sometimes in misguided hands, misguided minds. So attitude makes a lot of difference. Arjun had all the skills or not? He was a skilled warrior, efficient warrior, hardworking warrior. He had skill and knowledge both. But when the challenge he was facing, the war he had to fight, what was the main reason why he collapsed? Was the attitude. Not that he was lacking in skill or knowledge. Even today, when we face so many challenges in life, what makes us face those challenges is our positive attitude. Along with skill and knowledge, I may have great skill and knowledge, but if my attitude is negative, I cannot do anything. So attitude matters maximum. How we work is our attitude. Skill and knowledge is, the skill is exactly how I do the thing. Knowledge is I know what to do. And attitude is with what mindset I perform that action. So all the three, while they are required for success, if one factor has to be chosen, that what is that which actually makes us really stand out, that is the attitude. Attitude towards work, attitude towards people. When we connect to each other, if somebody is humble, very great person, achieved a lot of things, but if that person is humble, then when we connect also, we feel, "Arey, he's such a humble person, such a nice person." Nobody at that time sees, okay, how much is his knowledge, how much is the skill. When we connect to each other, it is the attitude, it is the feeling. At that level, we connect. So knowledge, if it brings that positive attitude, it brings that inner strength, it brings humility, then that is the beauty of that knowledge. Same way skills. So skill and knowledge, no doubt, are important, but attitude is most important. Sometimes what happens is we overemphasize skill and knowledge. Even when we groom our children or the students, so much emphasis goes on skill. Skills are important, no denial of that. But skills alone will do nothing. Unless that positive attitude is there, it will not work. And with the skill and knowledge, if the positive attitude is there, then that person is able to face any challenge. So while we work in the world, so many of you gave these different answers. People, we work for livelihood, we work for success and accomplishment, we have certain talents and we want to channelize those talents. We want to make a difference in the society. We want to see that what potential we have, we want to manifest, to realize an ideal. But ultimately, all this is to help us to experience happiness and love. Peace, happiness, love is what one wants. So how will this come? When we think about it, it doesn't come only by the skill and the knowledge part. There are lots of knowledgeable people who are there, very skilled people who are there, but not peaceful and happy. Because the attitude makes the whole difference. Many people would envy them. They would want to be in those positions also. Such heights or success also they may have achieved. But many times inner happiness is not. Because that is governed by our happiness, by our attitude. And so, Gurudev always said action is the signature of life. Nobody can be without action, even for a minute. We have no choice to act or not to act, but we have a choice in how to act. And how to act is our attitude. How do I respond to any challenge is my attitude. Even right now, we have a choice or not. We can be sitting here listening with full attention. We may be sitting here listening partial attention. Sometimes we may be physically here, mentally completely absent. And some people come to a lecture to experience practically the state of deep sleep. We have a choice. We can listen, we can be wandering in the mind, we can listen with full attention. Every moment we have a choice. And what makes us choose along with knowledge, it is our attitude. So challenges of life we are able to face successfully based on our attitude. Different people respond to the same challenge differently. It is based on their attitude. In the Mahabharata we find Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and Arjuna. All the three of them, they are facing the same situation, the war. Dhritarashtra is in a position to control and he can actually avoid the whole war. But he doesn't do that. Duryodhana is scared from inside, but he goes to his teacher and instead of asking for help, he taunts his own teacher and comes back, saying that your disciples are standing in front of you, better fight them. He doesn't ask, I'm scared, please help me now. Arjuna, he also tells Bhagavan that place the chariot between the two armies, I want to see who has come to fight. Very confident. But when the chariot is placed in the middle of the two armies and he sees Bhishma and Drona, perhaps. And he gives so many excuses why one should not fight the war. First chapter is all excuses of our life. I mean, excuses are very interesting. They are in the same order which you and I will give excuses. So if we don't feel up to a challenge, first thing what we will do, usually, I'm feeling under the weather. My head is paining. I have a back pain. Nausea, I'm not feeling good. So Arjun also says, I can't hold my bow, I'm shivering, I'm trembling, I'm sweating, my teeth are chattering, how can I fight? Like that it is. All excuses. Why? Because the attitude is, how can I fight my own people? And the same Arjun, when he was given the knowledge and his attitude changed, not that he did not have the knowledge earlier, but Bhagwan, through that knowledge and his presence, made him have the right attitude. He went ahead and won the war. So attitude makes a big difference. So we have a choice. We always say like the incoming call is free. We have a choice. You can take a call, you can avoid the call. Some people in the middle of the class also, if somebody calls, they will say, I got it. Sometimes not take the big call also, let it be a missed call. So many things one can choose. Every moment we have this choice as a human being. And the attitude with which we face makes the biggest difference. So that's why one says destiny is not in the lines of your hand, but grasp of your palm. Nothing is predetermined that this will happen like this only by some God sitting up there. We have the freedom, Purusha. And when we have that freedom, we can choose how to respond. Situation can be anything. Strong people are those who can turn around that whole, even the adverse situation into an opportunity. And weak minds are those who will let go of even the most conducive situation and keep complete. It all depends on the attitude. So many great achievers, if you see in their life, they have come up in life because of their attitude. And they struggled. They did not have so many comforts, conveniences. But the attitude was that I want to rise. So they have resilience and they will rise in life. Dr. Abdul Kalam gives a very nice example. Have you seen a bumblebee? You see a bumblebee, the body of that bumblebee is so big and the wings are so small. So the example he used to give is that according to the science of aeronautics, the bumblebee cannot fly. But he always said that luckily bumblebee does not know aeronautics. So the bumblebee thinks that it can fly, so it flies. Ants, if you see, they lift objects which are even 50 times heavier than them. Physically, how? The power of strength of attitude. So in life, when we want to rise higher and higher, achieve any goal, material goal, spiritual goal, attitude is most crucial. Not to undermine skill and knowledge, but more important is the attitude. And hence, this chapter begins with this fact that how attitude makes the difference. And there are these three types of workers. Laborer, worker, men of achievement. Three types of people actually. So laborer is Vyavasayi, worker is Sevakari, and men of achievement are called yogis. So what is the difference between all of them? The difference between all of them is not in the external action. The difference between all of them is in the way in which they work, the attitude to work. So the distinction are based on how they work, not on what they do. So laborer here doesn't mean somebody who is just doing manual labor. We'll see what that is, each one. The laborer, worker, and man of achievement. So, what is the desire? What is their attitude? How selflessly they work? That is the basis of this classification. So, what is the division now? Let us see one by one. First is a laborer is somebody who works only for oneself, at the maximum one's family, who doesn't have any other higher ideal in life, who works for fulfilling one's own needs and the needs of the family. There's nothing wrong in that. But the idea is there is a hierarchy of evolution. So we have laborers who will always think of how much did I get, what did I benefit. The focus is always on I. That person can be anybody. It can be a CEO, it can be a politician, it can be a teacher, it can be any artist, anyone. Where I am most important, the ego is most important, that person is a laborer. Why is that person called laborer? Because one will struggle hard. Ego brings a lot of challenges, resistance, inflexibility, a lot of struggle. Internal, subjective struggle. Who is a worker? A worker is one who doesn't just work for oneself, one works for a higher purpose, to make a difference in the society, wants to contribute something meaningful. That person is one who has an idea. And is a worker. So we always have, we use the expression social, what do we say? Worker or laborer? Worker. Social worker. We don't say social laborer. Social worker means one who wants to establish an ideal, make a difference in the society, and the focus of that person is not on I, the focus of that person is on making a difference in the society, or whatever that ideal is. We will see as we go now what kind of ideals. An achiever is somebody who has achieved their ideal, who doesn't want anything for oneself, who works out of happiness, unconditionally sharing and loving. He's a yogi. Here it is actually achiever is one who has achieved the goal of life itself. He's a man of realization or a woman of realization. So, first difference is in the mental attitude. So, when I have a higher ideal, much more potential of my manifest. When there is no ideal, only I, me, and mine, one works for. More stress one goes through. And achiever is somebody who has already achieved what one wanted to achieve, is in the state of happiness. What we saw that why do we work? We work for happiness. So the laborer and worker work for happiness, but this person who is the achiever works from happiness, has achieved the goal. So the attitude is I, me, and mine for the laborer. For the worker, it is a selfless attitude. Question will always be how much did I contribute? How much did I give back? What was my effort in this? Not what's in it for me. See, again, there's nothing wrong in thinking what is in it for me. But if my mind is only thinking that much, then I am limiting myself. An achiever is one who shares unconditionally. Whether it's a Shankaracharya ji or a Gautam Buddha or a Mirabai or a Janabai, any of these great people, they didn't have any limits. Unconditionally, they shared knowledge, love, whatever they had, peace with everyone. So the vision of a laborer is narrow vision. The vision of a worker is much more broader. But the vision of the achiever is all inclusive. Sentient beings, insentient beings, people who hate them also, they will not have any hatred against them. Because their vision is all inclusive. Just now what we learned. No? Akhanda Mandalakara. So Akhanda Mandalakaram Yaptam Yena Characharam. One who showed me that vision, that there is one truth which pervades everything. So one who operates out of that differences that we see are only superficial. There is only one essential truth in the hearts of all. So one who connects at that deepest spiritual level is the achiever. So the action of somebody who is thinking of only I, me and mine is called labor. Because one is struggling hard with resistance, with many likes, dislikes, many such things. Action of somebody who is having an ideal is called work. In fact, Gurudev used to say, work is love made visible. I love that ideal and I want to give my best for that ideal. Whether it is, empowering someone's life with knowledge or providing some financial assistance to anybody or helping a field, let us say a scientist from one level, science comes up to the higher level in our country, anything. So many ideas can be there in one's life. The ideal can also be my own family. I do so many things for the family's well-being without the feeling that what did I get in return. So the focus is on a higher purpose, not on I. And today management also says that or not. What do they say? Have a purpose that is larger than you. For an individual also and for the company also. A larger purpose makes a person more expansive, more broad. So what is that purpose is what one has to discover. Effort of somebody, a laborer loves comfort much more. How much I want, what I do first. Beyond that, don't ask me to struggle. A worker is one who will struggle hard. Because the goal is high, the purpose is high, the purpose will be to make that manifest. So there will be struggle, and one will go through that. Not that struggle is not a laborer's life, but the person loves comfort much more. Vivekananda said a very powerful line. He said, struggle has been my motto for the last 10 years. Struggle will be my motto for the next 20 years. He wanted people to empower their lives with the knowledge of Vedanta. He roamed in this country from 1884 to 1886 to 1893 without any support. But he didn't give up his idea. Imagine if you and I are in his position. He is from an aristocratic family. But when the father passed away, there were a lot of debts and the family came down to poverty, to such dismal poverty that there is no food to eat. And one sister of Vivekananda had committed suicide also. If you and I are in that position, what will we do? We will say, forget it, awakening the country and all that. I need to take care of my family first. And not that he didn't try. He asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa to tell Brother Kali to bless him with wealth. Ramakrishna said, I don't ask mother for all these. He never asked mother for curing his own cancer. But he said, I can make you meet Mother Kali. You ask what you want. So 3 times he had darshan of Mother Kali. And every time he went and met, he had a darshan. He would prepare in mind and go that I have to ask for wealth, I have to ask for prosperity and well-being of my family. But every time he went there, he would pray, Oh Mother, bless me with devotion for your lotus feet and deepest of knowledge to serve everyone. Every single time when he asked that, then he realized that There is some other purpose for which I am born. So struggle was there in his life, and he struggled. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa passed away in 1886, and he told him that you have to take care of all the disciples. There was no organization, there is no money, nothing. And he has to handle all of them. And he has the vision that he wants to awaken the masses. 7 years he went around this country. Finally, we woke up here when he spoke there in World Parliament of Religion. Which date he spoke?
11 September.
Remember? 11 September 1893. And 1902, he dropped the body. So 9 years time, he established the Ramakrishna Mission, the Ramakrishna Mark. Global organization today serving so many people. The foundation of that is the deepest conviction and selflessness. He's actually a yogi, not a worker. He's a yogi. A man of achievement who does tireless service. And struggled. Shankaracharya struggled, Vivekananda struggled, Gurudev struggled, each of them. Because they are men of achievement who are working in the society to bring about a very subtle ideal. Even otherwise, last time we saw a video, so many examples of people who have transformed themselves and transformed the country. Rajesh Kurian we saw, Dr. Abdul Kalam we saw, Jamshedji Tata we saw. Recently only I think Jamshedji's birthday then. So these are people who have kept a higher purpose in mind, kept the country in mind, wanted the development of the people and the country, and they struggled to make that happen. Their life is dedicated to that purpose. So in a laborer, the ego is very high. Maybe at any level, a contractual laborer or a CEO or even a big leader, whoever it is. The ego is very high and I think more about I, then that is labor. Where the cause is more important than me, I am ready to sacrifice and do whatever it requires for me to work hard to make that manifest. Because cause is more important. When the cause is achieved, there is a deep satisfaction that one could contribute to this noble cause. I is not that important, the cause is important. And for the sake of the cause, any sacrifice required, one will just do it. Then that is a worker. And in an achiever, absolutely no ego at all. Zero ego. That's a man of realization. Empty. The beautiful music comes out only from the flute which is empty.
Obviously, ego means I.
Sense of individuality. Yeah. The functional sense of individuality everyone has. That is not a problem. The psychological sense of individuality which has likes, dislikes, superiority, inferiority, that is the ego. Paper on which something is written, can we write something more? On a blank paper we can write. So a poem requires a blank paper. Music requires an empty flute. If you want to see a great view, the frame, the window must be empty. Same way, if I want to realize the truth, I need to be blank. Blank meaning not thoughtless. Blank meaning give up the ego. So 4 aspects of our personality: physical, mental, intellectual, spiritual. In these 4 aspects of the personality, body, mind, intellect and spirit, Then this constitutes our individual identity. So the functional identity means I know who am I at this relative level, Mr. So and so, with these qualities of the mind, intellect. But only when I know who am I at the spiritual level, I realize that, oh, this is only a role that I am playing at the body, mind, intellect. My true nature is the soul which is indestructible. That one who has realized, that person is called an achiever, where there is no ego. Like an actor plays the role beautifully. When he is playing the role, he is fully in the role. But while playing the role, also the actor knows that I am not the role. My reality is something else. That is the state of this man of achievement. Plays all the roles in the world. Maybe a father, son, friend, pillar, supper, anything. Businessman, teacher, whatever. There are different roles. He will play the roles. She will play the roles. But knows deep down that I am not any of these. I am that pure consciousness. That person is called a man of achiever. That psychological identification is not with the body, mind, intellect. Our identity right now we derive from the body, mind, intellect. If the body is beautiful, I feel I am beautiful. If the body is young, I feel I am young. If the body is sick, I feel I am sick. But that's the condition of the body. If the mind has great qualities, I feel I am a good person. You know, the place where I am born, I feel I am in high caste or a low caste, all that. Because I identify with something else apart from who am I to. So man of achiever is one who will use any of these only as a tool to perform the roles. Deep down one knows I am not these. My nature is conscious. More about this we will explore as we go along. Vedanta is mainly about this aspect. So ego is no ego at all. Total surrender of the ego has happened in the man of achievement. What is the motivation? For the laborer, the motivation is what will I gain? What is in it for me? How much will I benefit? And the person limits oneself to only that much. There is nothing wrong in finding out what will be my benefit. In business also they have no cost benefit analysis. One has to do what I am putting in and what will I get, whether it is required or not, worthy or not. One can think about that. But there are people who think only about that. If I don't have to get anything out of it, why should I do? I don't care. No, but why don't you help out and serve here? The country needs you. Mera kya fayda? I'm not going to get anything. I don't want to do it. Forget country. Even in the society, some common work in a society or in an organization one has to do. One will not do. What's in it for me is the main question. So that's a laborer attitude. The worker attitude is how can I serve and make a difference? The focus is on that idea. And the man of achiever says, how can I end the suffering of the people? The feeling is that. So the result is for the laborer, there is a division and conflict always. One always divides the world. These people are my people, these people are not my people, this I will benefit, that I will not benefit. You see, Dhritarashtra, what did he say? Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. These are my children and those are Pandu's children. And he made a psychological difference. He is a king. He is supposed to have a vision of oneness. He is supposed to include everybody. And especially the Pandavas because Pandu died. Should be more caring and loving towards them. But when that laborer attitude is there, so he was a king, but he was actually a laborer. Maybe in a big position, so on. He had a narrow vision, a divisive vision. So he broke up the entire Kuru kingdom into two parts, Hastinapur and Indraprastha. That also he gave them such barren land, nothing will grow there. Khandavaprastha it was called. And these Pandavas with their hard work made it Indraprastha. Again, that's the attitude. How they did not quit and complain saying, what have you given us? They transformed that also in such a way that Duryodhana and everybody were jealous. They did, what have they done? That mahal that they made was what we call mind blowing. So the attitude makes the whole difference. So here the attitude is division and conflict. For the worker, the attitude is when I am serving here, that brings purity of mind. That's the result. Sorry, not that. The result is purity of mind. The person has less and less ego pressure. And ego pressure is a very important aspect. We are generally concerned with blood pressure, BP. But this BP is influenced tremendously by EP. EP is ego pressure. The higher the ego, greater is the BP also. Don't apply full mathematics. Don't say no ego means no BP. How is that possible? Just understand the principle. The more the ego rises, more stress, more worry, more tension. As a liberal attitude, division and conflict. The more I am able to serve, more is the purity of mind. And for the person who has no ego, the result is the sharing of infinite bliss in all different possible ways. Moment by moment, the person lives only in bliss. In the same world where we live, where we find it difficult to be happy for a few moments continuously, this person is living moment by moment in bliss in spite of all the turbulences and challenges. Why? Because ego has been sublimated. So this is the difference between a laborer, worker and an achiever. And in different spheres of our lives, we may be laborer or a worker. Wherever we can rise from a laborer to worker, one should do. So how do I rise from a laborer to worker? I should discover an ideal or a purpose or a goal to which I can dedicate all my action. Actually, that was your exercise for last week. Anybody thought about it? Anybody wants to share what is your ideal? Yes.
Actually, a yoga acharya. So I just want to propagate yoga in this for the society.
Wonderful. To share the knowledge of yoga and empower the lives of people. Good. Anybody else?
Lawyer by profession. Deal with the family matters, family conflicts. I share my knowledge. Saying that let go.
Bring more harmony in the family.
Yes,
So,
try to adjust.
yeah. So as a lawyer, your attempt is to make them stay together rather than.
Yes, and put them, like humorously, I say,
Yeah.
you have no guarantee you get something else. So like that. So put them together. Share my experience. This is how life goes. Our parents used to do this.
Right. So through knowledge, experience, bring more harmony to lives of people. So ideal means that actually what I am doing, that I do with a higher purpose. I don't have to do something extraordinarily different. Many people think that social service means I should go out and do something else, which is one part, no denial of that. So if I go and give some food in charity or clothes in charity or I give some medicine, I fund somebody's education, that is one part of social service, no doubt. But whatever I am doing, that itself if I do with the attitude of selflessness, with that focus being on that, not on how much did I make. Like a doctor, the focus of a doctor should be what? To remove the suffering of the patient, not on how much money can I make. But today, how does it happen? It happens, how many patients? We have targets. You must have this many patients, you have to send this many patients for this treatment so that this cost we will recover. You may say, but the cost of hospital equipment, all that, how will it recover? It will recover. We don't have to focus on that and exploit people for that. Wrong treatment so many people go through. Hard-earned money out there is exploited. So the focus then is on money, not on the nobility of serving people to remove their suffering. So the work is the same. The attitude has to change. Like Arjuna had to be in the war and fight. Bhagavan didn't tell him to do something else. He said, this war itself, you do with the fight with the right attitude. Tato yuddhaya yudhyasva naivam papam avapsasi. You fight this war with the attitude that you are here to do your duty. Then you will not incur a sin. Don't do it for revenge, don't do it for, because anyway not a dispute for land. So what work I have, that work itself when I do it with a higher ideal. So discover that ideal or purpose or the goal in the work, and the joy is in the work itself. Otherwise the joy comes from the result or the enjoyment of the result. No doubt we feel happy when we get the result. That nobody is denying that. Nobody is saying don't be happy. But we should not postpone the happiness that when I get that, then only I will be happy. The process itself must be enjoyable. Like a sportsman enjoys the game. Now winning or losing, one may work hard to win. There is no doubt one will plan, strategize, do whatever required to win. But at the end of the day, one did not win. Will one say that, what was the use of playing at all? No. If I really love the game, I love the game, not the result that it brings or the money that it brings or the fame that it brings. An artist loves the very act of painting, not how much that painting is sold for. And the more the artist comes into that state where the love of art makes that person pain, the best performance will come out. Rather than be anxious for, I need to create a painting which will sell for this many $1 million. That is going to hamper the performance. So the attitude towards work will determine the very quality of the performance also. The way in which I perform will all depend on my attitude and the balance of mind and how I put the ideal before me. So laborer to worker, one does this. Worker to achiever, how will I rise? Having discovered the ideal, when I dedicate myself completely to that ideal and work with no sense of ego, I discover state of fulfillment and peace. It is not possible to jump from laborer to achiever straight away. Worker is a necessary, unavoidable stage. And I have to find if I can be a worker in every stage of my life, every aspect of my life. In a family, can I put the interest of my family above myself? When I am at work, can I put the interest of my company above myself? When I am a citizen, now, our elections will come. I have to choose wisely and choose for a country. So I have to put the country above myself. So many people still saying that they don't go out and vote on election day. You just have to go and vote. Chutti. We can enjoy something more. And then creep through the whole 5 years. Kya kar raha hai government? Then nobody has the right to creep if you are not one, then you are doing. Because you have the power to choose. You are not exercising that power. My national duty it is. It should be made compulsory actually. Voting nahi kiya to salary nahi milega. Then you will go stand in line and vote.
Swami, is it necessary for between worker to achiever? The achiever should have his own ideal, or it can be a common ideal?
No, it could be. See, the common ideal is there, no doubt. But as we said, the basic requirement for the achiever is egolessness, which comes with self-knowledge. So that self-knowledge has to be there. So the striving for the self-knowledge has to happen. Externally, the ideal can be one's own ideal, whatever it is. That is not one ideal for all workers, the same ideal. That can be different for each person. Like Gura Gumba was a potter, Kabir is a weaver. For them, externally, what they are doing, what ideas they have, can be very different. But internally, they are striving to know the self, and that makes them realize the truth. So not everybody who is a realized master also went around sharing the knowledge with so many people. But their presence itself makes a difference.
When you think of ideal, it is difficult to go beyond the family and so how anything to do with the family doesn't be an ideal.
It can be a stepping stone, there is no doubt, where I think more of the family than me. Because see, what is important in discovering any ideal is the factor of love behind that. If I really love the family, the entire thinking and work will operate out of that love. So that's the reason why this I doesn't come out. And what did I get? What did I get? Because the joy is in that very love. Slowly then one will expand. Because one will think about the culture. Suppose family, I keep my family above me. What is the family? Not just a few people who are there and whom I have to feed or take care of. No. Values play a big role in family. If I have to bring up children, if I have to have harmony in the family, values play a very big role. And values come from where? They come from the culture. So then slowly I will start getting more aware about what is my culture, what are the values of this culture, why are we doing certain cultural practices. So my sensitivity will increase towards my culture also. Then the family definition itself will change. That my family is not limited only to 5 people. I have a cultural family also. I have a national family also. I have a family at my home also. At my work also. Like we always say here, we are a Chinmaya family. Now, what is Chinmaya family? A Chinmaya family is not limited to some few people in one place. It is a global family. And wherever a person goes, one who is having that feeling, I am a Chinmaya mission member. When they get transferred, suppose they go from Mumbai, get transferred to Singapore, first thing they'll find out is where is Chinmaya mission. Because the definition of family has increased. And then they will want to do things for that family. So yes, it can start with one's own family and then the definition of family keeps on increasing. As well as in that very family, how to rise higher and higher. For that also I will do many things. Like if everybody becomes more sensitive towards the country, the whole family can be, let us reduce the usage of, let us say, plastic. Or let us ensure that we don't litter. So many such things which we can apply individually, which will affect the people in the country also. And when the same values that person carries forward in the work, in any other place that he or she is going, it will affect. So the feeling with which I do, it can be a beginning point with my family and then let it expand. It will expand. Till we come to the point where our culture says what? Vasudha eva kutumbakam. Vasudha eva kutumbakam. The whole earth is my family. It will come to that level. Only thing is I must work with that vision. Then it will happen.
Historically, why is it that society accepts workers and not achievers at the outside?
Yeah, that's a good question. What happens is because the society gets challenged much more by an achiever. Because an achiever, the way in which the achiever operates is not the way in which the society is used to operate. An achiever operates out of unconditional love, doesn't calculate at all. Society will calculate. An achiever does not have ego. Society is not very, used to living without ego. An achiever will challenge the very fundamental notion that argues the body. That is not Everyone is not ready. And as we said earlier, self-knowledge is the focus. Very few people are ready for self-knowledge. Hence, it is that society doesn't accept the achiever so easily. And the achiever will be fearless, will point out the flaw of the society straight away. So whether people are fighting for form or formless, or whether people are doing discrimination in the name of caste, creed, gender, nationality, the achiever will call it out and will not out of hatred or rudeness or anything, but will say the truth is the truth. And so the power centers which are there, they get disturbed. That's what happens. But those people who are able to see the vision of the achiever, they understand and then they start following. So it is also a fact that yes, as much opposition has been there, it has also been that there have been so many followers of these great masters also. Whether it's Raman Maharshi or Gurudev or Vivekananda, there are so many people who follow. Because they realize, this is the path. Today I may not be able to experience that state, but this is the way to go. So this is the first part of the chapter, which speaks about laborer, worker, and achiever, and then how to rise from each one level to the other. Now, in this, what is important is that our work or the environment can be anything. We cannot complain about it at all. Because, as we said earlier, it is about our attitude. So, if somebody says that, Swamiji, some people come and tell us, आप तो धन्य हो गए, आप संसार की मोह माया से बच गए, हम तो पिस गए इन संसार में. Whether you are in family or not in family, attitude matters more. There are people who are sannyasis and who are getting grounded completely. Because the bhav is still, how much did I get? How many disciples do I have? How much money did I make? Then what sannyasi is? It's not external, it's not environment. Environment plays a role, but a very small role. Any great achiever would have achieved success not because of the environment, but in spite of the environment. Nowadays they have this word, disrupt. Disrupt, bring a change. Status quo challenge. Spirituality is the biggest disruptor of everything. In what sense? Our fundamental assumptions and false notions, it will challenge, it will disturb. And through that, it will bring about the highest revelation and realization. So, environment can be anything. But if I change my attitude, I can become a worker and then I can become an achiever also. So, this is the first part of the chapter. The second part of the chapter is secret of success. So, think of 3 people who are successful, write down their names. And what is it about them that makes you think that they are successful? You have 1 minute. Write down the names of 3 people you think are successful. Done?
1 minute.
हाँ 1 minute हो गया. So anybody wants to share? Yes.
Mother Teresa.
Okay.
Carries everybody to overcome his life. Abdul Kalam.
Dr. Abdul Kalam, Mother Teresa, then
Country comes first and
country comes and Narayan.
work always, don't see the goal. You just always go to the spot and then never think about the bigger success.
Anyone else? Doctors. So, what was that which you think made you successful?
Because they do not want to earn money only to get richer, but to give back to the society.
Yeah. They didn't want to earn money for themselves. They gave back. Actually, that's one of the things. They are not in the billionaires list because a lot of their wealth is in different trusts. Yeah.
There's actually so much in the Tata group only, Tata Trust. Not yet.
Oh. Nice. Anyone else? Any other name? The word is so if you see one common thing which make them all successful. So we gave the names of people who have chosen a higher ideal for themselves. Not just people who have made money. Financial prosperity is one criteria for success, but not the only criteria for success. Where I am able to make a difference really, that is the bigger aspect. And so if each of them, they are successful because they discovered an ideal and they discovered inspiration and they committed themselves to that. So each one of us, we have to think about it, what is that ideal to which I am committed? And if it is in line, what is the vision of the company if I am working in a company? What is the vision of that company and is my vision and the vision of the company in alignment? If that is in alignment, then there is a joy in my work. It is not just labor. Because I am doing what I am made for and I am also committing, I am doing something which is dear to me. The ideas which are dear to me are the ideas which sync with that company. The company also believes in, let us say, making, if it is a, let's say, pharmaceutical company. The company also believes in ensuring that the people are benefited. And if my purpose is that I want to serve, then there is a seed. Or if my purpose is I want to be as creative as possible, and I am in a company where they value creativity much more, then my purpose is in sync. Like that, if the individual ideal or purpose is in sync with the company or the family or the group wherever I am working, then it will help a lot. Otherwise, there will be conflict. So now we need two volunteers, one from this side, one from this side. You have to change this. Sure. No. So you have to do very simple thing. You have to touch this. Easy? No. Easy? No. No. Okay. Now you have to touch this, but the condition is you should not bend your knee. Touch this without bending your knee. No? 100%. Not possible.
Possible.
Go from the chair.
That is bending.
Bending.
Bending the knee. You should not bend the knee. Exactly.
No, bend the knee and
Someone has
touch
to
it.
bend the knee. Even if I have to jump, I have to bend. Just to jump, the knee will bend. Just to walk and come again, the knee will bend.
So everything comes down.
That's a good point. That's what a lot of people do. If you can't reach the targets, lower the target. Okay, so tell me, what was the learning of the test?
You need to go down to rise up.
So one aspect is you need to go down to rise up means what? Go down means what?
You may have to sometimes go in the backward direction, or you may have setbacks to go forward.
Bend your knees.
Yeah, so bend the knees means what?
When you need to surrender.
Humility.
Humanity, humble.
Humility. You know, you have to anchor within yourself. Many such points one can think about that. If I want to rise higher in life, I need to do that. There's one learning. One more learning is there. We kept it at different levels now. What does that mean?
The higher you have to go, the more you have to go. Right?
That's also another point. The higher you go, the more we have to pay. No doubt.
You have to write slowly.
That's why the exponentially that is no problem.
The goal also should go higher. Right? The
Goals should go higher. Thank you. Both are very, very important aspects in life. If I want to grow in life, I must have higher the goal is, greater potential in life. When this was kept here, very easy, you just touch it. You lift it high, more effort. Lift it still high, you have to jump. Lift it very high, you have to jump much more. So when does the higher potential manifest? When the goal is very high. If the goal is not high, the problem in life, in a lot of our cases, is not that we fail in life. It is because we have not set only the high goal. So the potential only doesn't manifest. Someone said very nicely that the tragedy, not tragedy. So he said, natural resources get depleted by usage, but human resources get depleted by non-usage. We don't use only human resources. What all is the potential in his mind is so much that one can do. Small children today, they say life is boring. Life is boring. There is so much to explore in life, so much to learn, so much to gain, so much to do. But if there is no higher goal, and why will there be no higher goal? When I love comfort more than struggle, then there is no higher goal. But my ultimate aim is only to live a comfortable life first. Nothing wrong with comfort by itself. But if my goal of life is only comfort, I will not struggle because now I am comfortable. Why do I need anything more? At the maximum, okay, I want some name, fame, recognition, publicity. So I will work for that. But a higher purpose is something else. Where one says that I must contribute to the society. I must do this. I am convinced of that. Gurudev worked for 42 years not wanting anything for himself. Shankaracharya went around the country, Vivekananda ji went around the country doing what? They didn't want anything for themselves. They said, this must inspire the lives of people, change the lives of people. So they took up that as a mission. Dr. Abdul Kalam, he said, India 2020. Had we taken up that vision when he was there, he would have achieved it that much. And he gave so many clear guidelines and plans also, India 2020. How to make India a developed nation. So, and how he used to work so hard, one of the best presidents that we have ever had. So much of humility, so much of knowledge, so much of connection to the youth, very practical person. The vision that that person had, that's called a higher vision. When I went to meet him in 2002, for a competition called Awakening Indians to India. For that, we wanted a message from him. So he was supposed to meet us on a particular day, but that day he had some different commitments which came up. So he preponed our meeting to the previous day. And you know what time he met us? He met us at 11:45 in the night. At 11:45 in the night he met us, and we thought that he must have had a long day, so we have to do our work quickly, explain to him, so that he gives a message and we come back. He happily sat with us and he chatted with us for 45 minutes. And after that he had another 2 appointments to complete. How he worked was amazing. Tireless, servant of the country. With that feeling he worked. And one can feel when one speaks to that person. So that way, that's the purpose of the higher ideal. When a person has a higher ideal, person is ready to give the best. And the best potential manifests there. So the quality of the action improved by adopting better and better the ideals. The nobler the ideal, the greater will be the beauty and efficiency of the action dedicated to achieving. So each one must discover that. That ideal, once I discover, it can become an all-consuming ideal, which will make my mind completely focused. So it's not an ideal which is just intellectually in terms of a target or a number. It's an ideal which evokes the feeling that I feel for it and I want to do it. So what are some of the examples I'm going to share here? You can share many others if you know. King Ashoka, when he transformed in Kalinga war, he changed his ideal. Earlier it was to be a powerful king. Then he changed the ideal. What was his ideal? To do good and spread the message of compassion. Jamshedji Tata, what was his ideal? Advancement of India by providing intellectual, physical infrastructure, industrialization he brought to this country. Lincoln, he said, with malice to none and goodwill to all. How many times he failed in his life? But he didn't give up. Albert Schweitzer, he said, service to humanity through medicine. M.S. Subbulakshmi, promoting the causes through music, bringing listeners close to God. Just see what an idea it is. Not saying that, oh, I'm just going to entertain people and get some money. Bringing listeners close to God. How many people even today, their day begins with M.S. Subbulakshmi chant. Kausalya, Supraja, Rama, Purva, Sandhya, Pravartakini. That is the Suprabhata. I have grown up listening to that, not in my house, in my neighbor's house. We used to get up, say, Gare Shuru Ho Gaya, Suprabhata. That time we didn't value it so much, but today we value saying that it was good. Wake up with Suprabhatam. Vinoba Bhave, to alleviate poverty and suffering, no other way than love. So many of these are the ideals of these people to whom they have dedicated their life. M.S. Swaminathan, he brought the green revolution in our country. You know M.S. Swaminathan? Scientist. So, after the independence, we were in so much of poverty and drought and famine and so many such things happening in different parts of the country. Food-wise, we were not self-sufficient. So he brought the green revolution through which we became self-sufficient in food. See, these are the people who should be our heroes. Because they have done so much for the country. Like Dr. Varghese brought the white revolution, made us sufficient in the milk. Before that, he brought the green revolution. M.S. Swaminathan. Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu, freeing the oppressor and the oppressed, both. Murthy, he spoke about compassionate capitalism. Crony capitalism is what we hear always. Compassionate capitalism. Gurudev, bring about individual transformation, Hindu revival, and national feeling of nationalism through the knowledge of Vedanta. Universal peace through the knowledge of Vedanta. So, these are some examples of how great people have committed themselves to an ideal and dedicated fully. The person who has a goal and an ideal, that is the first requirement for success. Hard work comes later on. Skills come later on. Environment comes later on. Do I have an ideal or not? And how high is my ideal? And when we think about an ideal, one does not have to limit oneself. How is this possible? Every single person who has had these great ideals has thought the unimaginable and impossible. And they did not limit themselves. They did not say that, is this practical? Is this possible? No, I don't think this is possible, so let us do it properly. No. They had the daring to visualize that this is what one wants to achieve, this is the ideal to which I am committed. The means will follow after that. If I have the conviction for it, I am convinced by it, and I have that, passion for it, the means will follow. One doesn't have to think. While setting the ideals, when Gurudev wanted to come down from the Himalayas and share the knowledge, his own Guru told him, don't go. Those who want the knowledge will come to you. So he waited, he heard about it, and he said, okay, as my Guru said, I will do. But then In his own words, he said the urge became irresistible. That I must go down and share this knowledge. So the Guru said, go. And he started from Pune, the city of intellectuals. From there, when he started sharing the knowledge, he didn't keep a target in mind. His ideal was that I want to awaken the country, I want to bring universal peace, and I want to work. How he will do it, what he will do, who will come forward, who will support. At that time, he is not thinking of all that. It's a divine will that it has to manifest. So with that surrender, start off. That's how Vivekananda also started. 7 years, no support. But he didn't give up the idea. He didn't say that what kind of country is this? They are not bothered about me at all. Why should I awaken these people? No. So while setting the ideal, one should not live it. Stress and fatigue come because of our mental dissipation. When we don't have an ideal and when we dissipate our mind in petty paltry thinking, with pride, prejudice, attachments, aversions, operating out of what nowadays people call politics. There is too much politics in the organization. Scheming, planning against somebody, all that. Then that mental dissipation happens. In the material, there is an example given that sitting in the air-conditioned office, somebody can be absolutely tired and exhausted, stressed out and fatigued. And some farmer, somebody who is out there, is working hard in the field, but is more happier. Because the mental dissipation of energy is not happening. It can be the other way also. A farmer can be distressed and AC, people can be happy. It all depends on the mindset. Do I focus on the work and the ideal? The greater the selflessness, greater will be our peace. The greater is the selfishness, greater will be the stress. So if today we are becoming more stressed out in the world, one of the main reasons is what? Is increase in the selfishness. Increase in the culture of individuality. I. The lesser I think about this ego, the greater will be happiness and peace. So to be successful, one is, the secret of success is I must have a high goal in life. 1. 2, the more selfless the goal is, the more quieter the mind will be. More quieter the mind, efficient will be the performance. And efficient performance will bring success. If the mental energy is not dissipated, you think about it. Does work really tire us? It is the mental dissipation that tires us. Physical work may tire us. Work can tire us at the body level. We can rest, we get that the next day morning we start working. But the mental dissipation that dissipates it. That's why Guruji says, few are tired by work, majority is tired by the very thought of work. Because they worry. Monday morning blues it is called. Oh God, Monday, again I have to go to the office. Again I have to go. I don't know. Why is it feeling like that? One of the reasons is this. So we're not enjoying, there's no ideal in life. I'm not enjoying it, become monotonous, dragging, boring, difficult, repetitive, again I have to do. Then politics is there, mind is lost in this and that. So then gone. Hence Dr. Kalam said, small aim is a crime. One youngster went to meet Gurudev, he was in the airport. He was coming back from somewhere, so at the airport, a lot of elders are there with him. And they brought this youngster also. So when Gurudev came, the elders greeted him, Hari Om, and the youngster said, Hi Swami. So people thought that now Gurudev will give it back to him. How can you say hi to a Swami? You should say Hari Om. And Gurudev replied back to him saying, Hi. And the elders are looking at him, how will he say hi? And immediately Gurudev said, next line, he said, I am a high Swami. he reminds me that my goal is high. So I'm a high smile. So small aim is a trend. If I think small, small doesn't mean small in terms of numbers. Small means small in terms of I need money. And the person who aspires for the highest is called path. Path, the word path means one who aspires for the Lord, the highest, the supreme. So the highest ideal in life is to work for the Lord. More about this we will continue in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Namaha Hari Om